serving the Republic of the Philippines for more than 75 years. Ito po ang Presidential Broadcast Service.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Malacañang over the weekend announced that Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has signed several laws that will strengthen and expand state universities and colleges, or SUCs, to make them better equipped to provide quality tertiary education. Republic Act, or RA numbers 11977, 11978, 11979, and 11980, signed by the President on February 15th, cover 4 government-run higher education institutions, namely Bulacan State University, or BULSU, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, or PUP, Pampanga State Agricultural University, or PISAO, and the Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University. RA 11977 established the PISAO Florida Blanca campus in Florida Blanca, Pampanga Province that will offer short-term, technical, vocational, undergraduate, and graduate courses. RA 11978, on the other hand, established a College of Medicine at the Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University's South La Union campus in Agoo, La Union Province. By virtue of RA 11979, the PUP campus in Parañaque City has been converted into a regular campus. RA number 11980, or the revised Bulacan State University Charter, sought to expand BULSU's curricular offerings and the composition and powers of its governing board, and encouraging the specialization of its constituent units. Both the PUP Parañaque City Campus and the PISAO Florida Blanca Campus will be headed by a campus administrator to be appointed by the university's respective boards.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Office of the Philippine President, or OP, announced the upcoming launch of Goldenberg, the concert series, a night of music that aims to promote Filipino heritage among the youth. In a social media post, the Social Secretary's Office, which is under the OP, said, "The public is in for a journey like no other with the concert series." It said the music event will bridge students to the heart of Filipino musicians, artists, culture, and the arts. It added that melodies of the country's heritage will inspire, uplift, and unite all Filipinos. The Social Secretary's Office, however, did not mention when the concert series would begin, but said that the event would be held at the Goldenberg Mansion in Malacañang. The Goldenberg Mansion is a fully refurbished home built in the 1800s by the Eugster family. It is the favored venue for this administration's cultural and art events. This can be privately rented as well. Meanwhile, the upcoming Goldenberg concert series is inspired by Stella Goldenberg Brimo, the daughter of French-Jewish businessman Michael Goldenberg, owner of the historic Goldenberg Mansion in San Miguel, Manila. She was a well-known soloist, concert pianist, and professor at the University of Santo Tomas Conservatory of Music and St. Paul's College. Brimo was a Manila Symphony Orchestra soloist and played the Emperor Concerto under its founder, Dr. Alexander Lipay, during wartime. She was the president of the Philippine Association of University of Women, or PAUW, Santo Tomas University chapter, and an outstanding leader in the National Council of the PAUW.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippine government is on a tight watch over food prices, water, and power supply as it anticipates the El Nino to affect more provinces by the end of February. In a news forum in Quezon City over the weekend, Task Force El Nino spokesperson and Presidential Communications Office, or PCO Assistant Secretary Joey Villarama, said 41 provinces are currently affected by the weather phenomenon. He said 10 more may be added to the list before March. 151 million pesos worth of losses in rice and corn have already been monitored in the Western Visayas and Zamboanga Peninsula alone. Villarama said that 17 of the 41 provinces are currently experiencing dry conditions, 10 under dry spell, and 14 are experiencing drought. The official added that the Department of Health, or DOH, is also monitoring waterborne and vector-driven diseases like cholera, typhoid fever, dengue, and chikungunya. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, earlier said that strong effects of El Nino will persist until the end of March.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, Malacañang assured thousands of farmers from Western Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, and other provinces affected by the El Nino that they will receive help from the government. Task Force El Nino spokesperson and Presidential Communications Office, or PCO Assistant Secretary Joey Villarama said that almost 4,000 farmers are affected by the drought. According to Villarama, the government is providing farmers with heat-tolerant seeds, farm animals, as well as financial help. Besides the direct intervention to farmers, Villarama added, irrigation canals and farm tools are being rehabilitated to further help severely affected farmers. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, earlier warned extreme heat in the coming month of March due to the peak of the El Nino phenomenon, wherein temperatures could reach as high as 36.5 degrees Celsius.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Philippine government over the weekend said that it will continue its rotational deployment to the Bajo de Masinloc or Scarborough Shoal to support Filipinos fishing in the area. In a news forum, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR spokesperson Nazario Briguera said that despite the challenges, the deployment of the BRP Tamblot and its mission was a success and were all in line with domestic and international law, including the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas, or UNCLOS. Briguera added that BFAR aims to give support to Filipino fishermen who are peacefully fishing in traditional waters as well, which is within Philippine waters. The Bureau was able to provide 14,000 liters of diesel, 60 liters of motor oil, food, medicine, and other necessities to 21 Filipino fishing boats from the 15th to the 16th of February. In the same forum, Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, maintained that these deployments are neither a provocation nor an attempt to escalate tensions with China. Tariela said they have relayed to the fishermen on how they could fish in the area more freely while they watch over, as the Chinese Coast Guard is more concerned on the presence of the government vessels instead of harassing them. Data from the BFAR showed that more than 385,500 Filipinos fish across the West Philippine Sea, where Scarborough Shoal is part of. Briguera said that resources from this area alone account for at least 6% to 7% of the country's total fish produce. The National Security Council formally announced the regular rotational deployment of PCG and BFAR on Friday and described it as a decisive action to protect the rights and safety of Filipinos in the waters of Scarborough Shoal.
Dateline Malacañang.
In a related story, the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, over the weekend said that Chinese fishermen at the Bajo de Masinloc used cyanide to drive away Filipino fishermen in the area. This was revealed by BFAR spokesperson Nazario Briguera, based on the statements of Filipino fishermen, adding that this is already part of the plan of the Chinese fishermen. This was also true even with Vietnamese fishermen who also used cyanide at Bajo de Masinloc or Scarborough Shoal. The official also confirmed from the agency's ground personnel that coral reefs have been destroyed, which could reach to billions of pesos in damages. Briguera said the use of cyanide at Bajo de Masinloc will endanger all marine resources, including the ecosystem and the waters in general. BFAR has left it to the Department of Justice, or DOJ, to act on the complaints against China.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine House Speaker Martin Romualdez assured Siquijor Province residents that no one will be left behind under President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s Bagong Pilipinas Serbisyo Fair, or BPSF, or in English, New Philippines Service Fair. Speaker Romualdez said that a total of 300 million pesos worth of various government programs and financial assistance were given to 50,000 beneficiaries, which covers almost 100% of the family population covered in the province. Romualdez led the BPSF in Siquijor, where he was delighted over the success of the program in extending government services to far-flung areas in the country. The BPSF is a program that brings government services closer to communities in hard-to-reach places in the Philippines. The BPSF in Siquijor is the first in Region 7. It was led by Representative Congressman Zaldi Villa along with Siquijor Governor Jake Vincent Villa. A total of 39 government agencies participated at the service fair.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the Philippines National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, on Sunday said that the rising employment rate in the country would help cushion the impact of higher inflation on the purchasing power of Filipinos. In a statement, NEDA's Secretary Arsenio Balisacan said that the Marcos administration is accelerating its efforts to manage price increases of basic commodities such as rice in light of the El Niño phenomenon the country is currently experiencing and the continuing upward price pressure from the global rice market. Balisacan, however, noted that despite high inflation, local labor market was demonstrating positive signs. The NEDA secretary said that the unemployment rate in the country registered 3.1% last December, while underemployment rate improved to 11.9% from the 12.6% recorded a year earlier. He added that the better employment figures were driven by the government's significant strides in attracting substantial foreign direct investments, or FDIs, which will create higher quality jobs, ultimately elevating the incomes and purchasing power of Filipinos. Balisacan, also the Socio-Economic Planning Secretary, issued the statement in response to a recent survey conducted by the Octa Research Group revealing that 3 out of 4 Filipinos were dissatisfied with the government's measures to address the escalating prices of basic commodities.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, we would like to invite everyone to come and visit our Facebook page at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.